The Marvel Cinematic Universe is infamous for adopting mythological heroes such as Thor and Loki to its ever-expanding universe. However, it may surprise you that Stan Lee and Jack Kirby did not do a good job of incorporating mythological deities like Thor and others into the Marvel Comics universe back in. If they had, they would have been arrested because Norse myths are full of murder, mayhem, and weird sex, most of which wouldn't be punishable nowadays. So, Marvel altered them to make these gods fit in with their superhero universe for better or for worse, but mostly for worse. And this video talks about how Marvel massacred a certain 10 mythological characters. But before we begin, we would like to thank Ada Ann Colvin for subscribing to our channel. If you also want to become a member of our members-only community and enjoy special content, make sure to click on the subscription button. Now, let's jump right into the video. Number 1. Thor. This one is absolutely ridiculous. For starters, Marvel shows him as the god of thunder, but Thor from Norse mythology has many more roles to play than only bringing up lightning and thunder. He is also the deity of the tides, good weather, and good harvests. Calling to him may result in military triumph, health protection, or fertility. His hair color is the most evident visual distinction, as he isn't blonde and muscular, but a large fat red-headed man. And you didn't have to be worthy to pick up his Mjolnir. Anybody could pick it up. However, utilizing it required some expertise and specific tools. Number 2. Loki. Thor and Loki are adoptive siblings with a complicated love-hate relationship that varies continuously in the Marvel world. In reality, the two are not related at all. In legend, Loki swore a blood oath to Odin as a sibling, making him Thor's step-uncle. Unlike in the Marvel movies and books, the two had friendly experiences together, but their relationship ended in lifelong hatred and treachery. Ragnarok's prophecy supposedly predicts what would end the world as we know it, killing Asgard and all the gods. Thanos kills Loki when the latter defends his brother in the MCU after the two save their people from Ragnarok. In actuality, myths claim that all of the gods perished in the Great Battle. Loki and Heimdall clash and end up killing each other, as Loki eventually becomes a villain and an enemy of Asgard. Number 3. Hel. In the movie Thor Ragnarok, Hela, the goddess of death, is introduced as the third child of Odin and a sister of Loki. In the Norse pantheon, her name is Hel, and she's actually the daughter of Loki, with the giant Angrboda and not his sister. Warriors who died in combat were said to be brought to Valhalla to feast with Odin, but dying from disease or old age meant spending forever in the freezing underworld with Hel, unlike the movie. Moreover, she is depicted in the film by the radiant Cate Blanchett, but in the original myths, her body is in a decaying state, and just half of her face is supposed to be beautiful. Number 4. Odin. Odin is Thor's father, and Loki's adopted father in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. However, in the original myths, Loki has no real connection to any of them. Thor was one of Odin's 6 offspring. He had another son called Baldur, who was killed by Loki, which led to Loki's imprisonment. Odin's death is a significant aspect of Ragnarok, whether in the MCU or Norse mythology. In the Marvel film, his heartfelt farewell to Thor and Loki is accompanied by a warning about Hela and the start of Ragnarok, which is then followed by his peaceful death. According to mythology, Odin fights with other gods and his son during Ragnarok, only to die after a terrible battle against Fenrir the wolf, one of Loki's children. Odin was destined to die in any case, but his death at Ragnarok ensured his place in Valhalla. Number 5. Heimdall. Heimdall is also known as the Watchman of the Gods. He was said to be the guard of the Bifrost Bridge and was doomed to die in combat against the trickster god Loki during Ragnarok, when each managed to murder the other. Fans will recognize Heimdall as the previous protector of the Bifrost. However, he is portrayed as a disciple of Odin rather than one of his sons. Like the myth he is originally based on, Heimdall does guard the Rainbow Bridge and seems to be the head guard for the gods. He does not, however, die in the fight against Loki, but rather against Thanos, the Mad Titan. Number 6. Lady Sif. Lady Sif is based on the mythical character of the same name, who is distinguished by her flowing locks of golden hair. The figure is usually associated with the earth, and so with fertility, family, and marriage, since they are frequently linked in mythical settings. She is also portrayed as Thor, the thunder god's wife. The film adaptation of Sif bears little resemblance to the myth. She does not have the original golden hair, nor is she romantically engaged with Thor. However, the first Thor film seems to hint at her unrequited love for the god of thunder. Lady Sif also has no linkages with the earth, marriage, or family in any symbolic way, and instead plays the part of a warrior. Number 7. Valkyries. The MCU has only given fans one Valkyrie so far, despite the fact that there were more powerful Valkyrie versions in Marvel books. Valkyries in mythology were not fighters, like those shown in films or comic books, but rather like fates in control of battlefield deaths. Tessa Thompson's role in Valkyrie is based on the mythical Valkyrie Brunhilde, whose story is told in the prose Edda, a collection of Norse and Germanic poems that comprise much of modern mythology. Brunhild is portrayed as the hero, Siegfried's lover, but she is also frequently the cause of his death when she deceives her into marrying another man. Valkyrie from the MCU shares much of her combat technique and look with her mythical counterpart, having served on an elite female Asgard army. Her personality, on the other hand, appears to be very different thus far, with little of Valkyrie's biography centered on the men in her life and instead making her a self-established hero. Number 8. Frigg. The goddess Friga is a more ambiguous figure than other Norse deities. She is often depicted as Odin's beautiful wife and the god Baldur's mother. Some interpretations of Norse mythology portray her as less moral and wilder in mythology, since she was known for her love of beauty, material things, love, and fertility, all of which led to a woman who was a pleasure seeker in all ways. The MCU's Frigga fulfills all of the tasks of her mythical counterpart, serving as Queen of Asgard and Odin's wife. The films, however, changed the tale to make her Thor's biological mother, which is not the case in the myths. She was proficient in the art of satyr, a sort of magic, and she was the one who gave it to the gods as well as humanity. Like her husband Odin, she reigned over an afterlife realm. Folkvang is Valhalla's mirror, and here is where Frigg takes half of the dead soldiers from the battles to wait until Ragnarok arrives. Number 9. Fenrir. Fenris wolf, also known as Fenrir, is a massive wolf in Norse mythology, who is chained up by the gods of Asgard due to his power. This Loki's child is said to break free from his bonds at the start of Ragnarok, the death of the gods, and to consume the sun and then Odin himself before being put down by the god Vidar. The Thor Ragnarok version of Fenrir bears a strong similarity to his mythical predecessor, all while proving to be one of the greatest animal sidekicks in the whole MCU. But the cinematic version is certainly liberated from bondage soon before Ragnarok begins. While the wolf does not kill Odin or consume the sun, the filmmakers do add a visual reference to the mythology, with one shot of the wolf positioned specifically such that his jaws block out the sun in the backdrop. And number 10. Boar. Boar is Thor's grandfather, and Odin, Vili, and Ve's father. Little is known about this individual in Norse mythology, because he is only referenced a couple of times in the canon, with little to no further information provided. Surprisingly, the MCU's version of Boar has the same level of ambiguity around him. The audience only knows that he is Odin's father and that he fought the Dark Elves at some time during his reign. Aside from that, the character, like his original counterpart, is a mystery. The audience, however, still knows more of him than what's mentioned in the myths. And this brings us to the end of the video. Do you know any other god that Marvel has absolutely massacred with their story? Let us know in the comments below. We'll see you next time. Until then, stay mythical.